In past videos, I've demonstrated how the back muscles can work more efficiently by going into this vertical kind of martial arts pose. And a few people have asked if I could explain how to do that in a bit more detail. So I'm going to do that here just to show how to go into the position. Once you're in the position, there's more that you could do with it, but I just want to show the process of going into it. First of all, if you're bending your knees, you want to bring your feet a bit apart. Makes it easier to bend the knees because you're not jammed. It gives the hips more room. You won't jam the hips. Okay. Second thing is, when you let the knees go, it's easy to go into your knees or down into your ankles like that. That puts pressure on the knees, and it's not helpful because it's dragging the upper body with it. You want to let the knees go in such a way that they go easily without sinking down. And you also don't want to bring your pelvis with your legs. Notice that if I bring my pelvis with my legs, that's sort of like the old man's walk when you sort of walk like this. When you do that, you're actually stiffening the hip joint. You're actually not using the hip joint because it's actually not hinging here. It's actually getting braced. You want to let the knees go in such a way that the pelvis doesn't come with them, which means that you'll be using the hip joint more efficiently. Okay, the third thing to keep in mind is when we let the knees go, again, we're used to exercise, we're used to using effort. We don't want to think of the body as a weight that we're lowering, as if you're doing some sort of squat to put weight on the thighs or to work the thighs. Here, we're letting the knees go easily so that you're not stiffening the legs, but using them lightly like that. When you've done all of that, you'll find that you're able to let the knees go. The pelvis will stay back, which means that it's more integrated with the rest of the trunk, and you'll be able to balance yourself on your feet more easily in this position without straining the legs. One other thing is that when we do this position, or when you let your knees go, you'll tend to come forward, even if you're leaving the hips behind, your weight as a whole might come forward this way. I'll show you what that looks like. And you want to check your balance over your feet so that if you've come over the balls of the feet, you come back a bit so you're more evenly balanced over the heel, the forefoot, and the heels. And then you'll get this balanced, vertical martial arts stance. Knees bent, hips flexed, also flexed in your knees and ankles, with your back tending to lengthen and the pelvis working with the trunk as a whole. Okay, once you're comfortable with the basic position, you want to take time with that, make sure that you don't rush it. Then, once in the position, there are a couple things to think about to bring about more length and elasticity in the muscles and connective tissues. We saw that the back muscles run in long, meaty bundles that run from the sacrum to the head. And instead of pulling the head back and down, the head is counterbalanced so that these muscles are kept lengthened. And when it's counterbalanced, the head can go forward and up, and the back and spine have length, so that the muscles from the head to the pelvis are kept on length. And those are the two things we're going to think about right now: the forward and up of the head and the length of the back from head to pelvis. So you're in this position. It's fairly balanced. Now you're going to think of the head balancing forward, not pulling back, but tilting forward, going up. And you're going to ask for length, or think about the length of the entire trunk from the sacrum to the head so that the back has length. Forward and up, back has length. That's the first thing. So once you've done that, you can come up. And then we're going to add one other component. And you could add each of these in pieces so that you're not sort of overwhelmed with all the details. Once you've gotten familiar with those two ideas, forward and up of the head and the back having length, Then you can also add the knees going forward from the hips, and they also go forward from the ankles, so that you're asking for length in the upper leg segment and the lower leg segment. You could see that in the arrows in the illustration. So now we've got the head forward and up, length of the back, knees forward from the hips, knees forward from the ankles, so that we're asking for more length and elasticity through all the major segments of the body. And then when you come out of it, you might notice for a minute, take your time, you might notice that muscles begin to let go through these different segments so that the entire postural system can work with less effort and more muscle length.